Hello, you join me here in the Eastern Cape on a game farm where there are lions, leopards, buffalo, elephants, everything just around the corner. But we're actually here to drive this, the new Lexus GX. It is a Prado-based 4x4 SUV. This one is the SE variant, but there is an Overtrail, which is the one which has all the 4x4 goodies. But let me take you on a little bit of a walk around on what is actually Lexus's best-selling car in South Africa for about 13 years, as far as we can tell.
Hello, now I have been asked to tell you about Cars.co.za because I work here. Now on the site right now, you will find 72,000 cars to choose from, which is quite a lot. And yes, most of them are used cars. However, a significant number, many of them, an exact number of which I don't know and head office didn't tell me, but a lot of them are brand new cars and demos. So whether you are looking for a used car, a new car, or a demo, you'll find what you're looking for on Cars.co.za. Check out our mobile site, our desktop site, and our fantastic free app in whichever app store you use.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.
Right, now the easiest way to tell this SC apart is that it comes with massive 22-inch wheels. The Overtrail comes with 18s and more ruggedy off-road tires. Then if we step inside, there are major differences between the two variants. Starting price is about 1.75 million, going up to about 1.85. Here's a look at the back. I think these big SUVs are all about design, and I think Lexus has kind of nailed the design. The back, I'm not as sold on as the front, but it's a really good looking car, and I think in comparison to the Defender, it puts up a really good challenge. But let's take a look inside here. On this one, you get like a scuff plate that electronically folds out, which is quite nice. Okay, a quick tour, hopefully in less than a minute, of the interior of the Lexus GX. So, they used to have really weird interiors in Lexus, but they're now thoroughly modern. If you remember the old ones, they had like a weird mouse system that was impossible to work. Now everything is touch sensitive for your infotainment system. You've got a digital display in the front here, everything from temperature, revs, speed, cruise control, everything through that screen here. Nice big Lexus steering wheel. They always make really nice leather. You don't get, it always feels like it's really tightly wrapped and nice and premium, I think is the word that they would use. Android Auto connected through here, Apple CarPlay, whatever you want. You've got all sorts of fancy air systems to get fresh lavender air or whatever you want coming through the system here, cleaning all that dirty air from outside. Then you have obviously dual zone climate control. You have a proper volume knob if you need it. And then down in the center here, you've got your drive mode select for things like Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort, Eco, whatever you really want there. And you can also turn it into it's a game drive vehicle that just passed through there, you'll see. Then you can also change it from 4 high to 4 low. Obviously being based on the Prado, it's got the same sort of systems underneath and capabilities that make it a good off-road vehicle. So from high 4 to high low, there's no 2-wheel drive mode in it. You can lock the center diff down here as well. Other things, you've got a wireless charger, 2 cup holders. This little thing here kind of slides down to provide an old school cigarette lighter or a 12-volt socket if you want one of those. And then in the center console here, you have a cool fridge. Can take 4 small bottles, but it also makes quite a racket when it's on. I should probably tell you that the other difference between SE and Overtrail is that you get 5 seats in the Overtrail and you get 7 seats in this SE model. And that hopefully is a really short tour of the interior of the Lexus GX. So one of the major complaints about the Land Cruiser Prado is that it doesn't have a powerful enough engine. It's only got the Hilux's 150 kilowatt diesel engine from the 2.8 that we know so well. But even the Hilux and the Fortuner have a GR Sport model which does 165 kilowatts and 550 Newton meters. So if you do want a more powerful Prado, this is probably a good option for you because you've got a slightly detuned version of the Land Cruiser 300's V6 petrol under here. It's 3.5 liters and it does 260 kilowatts and 650 Newton meters of torque. Now that's quite a step up, and obviously you're not going to get the same fuel economy. They claim about 12.5 liters per 100. I think in most day-to-day driving situations, it's probably going to be about 12.5 to maybe 14 liters per 100. We've been driving on the freeway on the way here, and we're still doing 12.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So you are going to have some fuel efficiency issues because Lexus doesn't do diesel, they do hybrid. And we haven't got a hybrid model in this yet, but it could be coming later. So there you have it. Top tip, if you want a more powerful Land Cruiser Prado, you can have a Lexus GX 550 SE or the Overtrail, which I think is the one I'm going to jump into next. So let's have a look at the Overtrail. Okay, so I've shown you the SE model, which is more of the road-based variant. This is the Overtrail, which I think is going to be the one that sells, actually. I think this is the one that most people are going to like because it looks more boxy and it looks more off-roady, kind of like a Defender in that regard. So you get these 18-inch wheels here instead of the 22s, which you get on the SE, which aren't great on gravel. These are much better. They got some off-road tires on them. And you can see that the side sill is actually out on this car. On the SE, it retracts underneath every time you close the car and then extracts. It comes out when you are busy, when you open the door. I'm going to turn you around so we can go through the interior here. But if you just check it, I just want to show you what's going on down there. You can see this. See if I can zoom in here. Let's do some zooming. Look at that. There's some warthogs down there. There's some bucks. Cool, eh? Okay, let's go back here. All right, I'll take you back through here. So I'm going to swap this around and we're going to go into the interior. First, you can see there's some roof racks on there as well. They are going to sell an off-road mode, an off-road variant, which can come with like boxes and all sorts of stuff. Firstly, you can see these cool seats. You get these dual-tone seats here. The other ones are semi-aniline leather. These ones are more of like a khaki style stuff, but it's still leather. Cool, swap you around here. So, because this is based on the Prado, and this is more of the off-road variant, you get a proper downhill crawl. You get a multi-terrain select. So crawl is obviously going really slowly uphill, or your hill descent control going really slow downhill. Multi-terrain select, you press it, lights up, and then you can use this button here to select. There you can see it selects dirt, snow, sand, mud, and really deep snow. You get a really cool graphic there. How cool is that graphic? Wow, what do we got here? Sand, dirt. What does auto do? Oh. And then if you come down here again, you get a rear and center locking diff. Okay, so we've just done about 30Ks on the gravel or 40Ks on the gravel, and we've done about a 5 or 10K off-roading course up in the game reserve. On the gravel, it feels very much like a Prado, just quieter and more luxurious, a bit more refined, but still very, very capable off-road. The 22s I don't recommend. It just feels like you're gonna chip and ding rims and cause yourself a lot of unnecessary expenditure on rim replacements and rim fixing. So the Overtrail I think is the one to have. 18-inch nice rugged tires. I do think that the Defender's air suspension is probably a little bit more refined and more capable on an off-road surface like that. It's just it's a more compliant ride, whereas this feels maybe a little bit firmer and a little bit more older school to air suspension on road, but that's it, less complicated than air suspension for sure. But I do think this is going to sell really well. I think it's going to give the Defender a run for its money. I do think that the design is great. This Overtrail looks amazing. It's a box. Who doesn't love boxes? We all love a good box. The Defender sells well because it looks like a box, a design that we all love. So that's it. Hopefully we get this one on test and we can do a proper review of it. This is just my quick review of the launch and a couple hundred Ks in the car. So if you are looking for a used car, check out Cars.co.za. We have all the used cars, and you can use our quick search function where you can just be like Lexus GX Silver Gauteng, and it'll give you all of those filters immediately just from typing in a clever search. Cool, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.